Ah, yes, Lost Island, ARK's newest map and creeping up the favorite list of many. Lost Island. Wait, how is this lost? It's right there, across from the thing. You can't miss it. You can see it from the other shore. How is this lost? Okay, anyway, moving on. We gathered our day 1 resources, made our first tool, and then gathered some more resources. Made this lovely campfire, but I had no meat to put on it. So I took off down the beach with my torch to burn off the feathers of these dodos so I wouldn't have to pluck them myself. It gave me a little bit of meat and a little bit of hide, and I was on my way to learn a few skillful things that I was going to need to survive my first day. We were introduced to the island's crazy weather patterns, and with the low visibility I decided to stay near my resources and make some indestructible foundations. I spent the foggy, rainy night of day 1 gathering resources to level up and make myself over to this little island right over there to find a nice little safe spot to start my journey. Downloaded a few new engrams from the glowing rock in my arm and then learned I needed some more hide to make that canoe. So I found this dodo and this dillo that unwillingly gave me the hide I was looking for. Split up their bodies to later make some narcotics with their rotted meat. Then I found this decent level tech parasite near the base and decided, well, I need to gather some berries, so why not? Unfortunately, the club doesn't do that much torpor and I ended up having to chase this thing for the better part of the rest of the day. Eventually we got it down, but yeah, it wasn't pretty. With all of our clubs gone, it was time for some good old-fashioned fisticuffs. Feeling bad for hitting the parasite in the face with the club until it passed out, I gave it some medu berries and eventually we became friends and it followed me home. In the early mornings of day 3, we named it Terra because it was blue and green like terra firma. Get it? Right? After spending most of the day getting resources, we were very close at getting our canoe and our first trip across the ocean. Right after this short crafting session, I loaded up the base and lined up Terra to get onto the canoe in hopes that it would just stay on the canoe like a raft. But you know what? Turns out it doesn't. That didn't work at all. Nope. So I went and scouted out the island to make sure there was not any hostile creatures over here and found nothing to worry about. So went back for Terra to introduce to the new island home. We had a nice peaceful island and, luckily for us, a nice rich metal node nearby. Then I spent the rest of day 3 gathering resources and rebuilding the base. Except it was time to get a lot of wood to make a nice wooden base, level up, and be nice and safe. When the rain broke and the sun finally came out, we went exploring the island and came across that rich metal node, which would come in so handy. Gathered up as much as we could, brought it back, rinse, wash, repeat. Day 5 was spent doing resource run after resource run, but eventually I came across this water insect that apparently the shell of its dead body attracts some of the local indigenous wildlife, so I was in tune to go ahead and kill this thing. Eventually, I only later realized it was a 174 and I had a primitive arrow. No wonder it took so freaking long. And then I found this dodo. Just wasn't having it. I spent the early mornings of day 6 making narcotics and a early morning metal run, and don't worry, the doctor says running slow is good for the knees. And at the end of day 6, Terra and I ventured back over to the Lost Island to go find some Sinnohs. Unfortunately, when I got to the other shore, I was greeted by this ichthy with a drug problem, stole my narcotics, and ate it before I could get it back. After rescuing my chitin from this thieving little pego, and having to fight off this Sarco for a green drop, I found only a storage box inside, which was just signs of what kind of gear I was going to get for this entire 100 days. Just horrible. Then it turns out we were in the right spot because we spotted our first wild cinema crops. Except we spooked it and it kind of ran away, but eventually he got sent to that dead water insect and was just in love with it and wanted to become our friend. So eventually he did. And then later we named him Buddy. Upon returning, I found this low-level PT who I was about to introduce to my trank arrow. Except that drug-thieving ichthy took all the narcotics and I didn't have any, so that PT was gonna have to wait. On the early mornings of day 8, we went out looking for some more trilobites, but unfortunately none had respawned, and the Sinnohs use a lot of their food when they use their stamps, so I was gonna have to manage this out. And then I found this magic rock where I could eat underwater. How interesting. What? Toward the end of day 8, I had the PT tamed and I came across this elusive rock lystro. Such a rare find, I knew I had to tame it, so I went and got some berries and started taming it. I knew it would give me some passive levels on my tames, so it would actually come in pretty handy until I got some cryopods. In the early hours of day 9, I crafted up some more bullets and saw that I was high enough level to make a PT saddle, but not enough Engram points. Fortunately though, I was only 1 stone foundation away, so there you go. And by the morning hours, the local dodo and dillo population had given me enough hide to make first PT saddle and I was in the air. At this point, I had only found 1 crystal node and I knew I was going to need more, but luckily I was about to find the mother lode. After picking up this wonderful blue drop. Now, I know I'm about to make fun of the fact that I just got this medium crop plot out of this blue drop and it's so OP, but actually with no mods and this early on in the game, this was actually really useful. Okay, back to it. After picking up this wonderful blue drop, I finally spotted all the crystal I was going to need for the rest of the playthrough, which is where I came back and which is kind of what slowed me down in the long run. Come to find out, this was also a really good obsidian node as well. Now, editing note here, the fact that my hatchet doesn't require metal to repair should have been clue that it wasn't an actual metal hatchet. I didn't figure this out until day 26. That was great. Aren't you supposed to drop bio oil? Finally got a saddle on the trike and named it Stella! Because, you know, why not? And just like that, we are finally in the drug business of narcotics in ARK YouTube. After a few days we had plenty of carrots and it was time to go find that equus. And it must have been my lucky day because the first one I spotted was a 180 male. Then I was about to get arked. First I forgot the carrots. Did find a nearby place to park the PT, put him on high passive follow so that he would be nearby, put him on follow, and then whistled to not follow for some reason. The tame on the equus was going well because it apparently only took 3 carrots to tame him up. And after taking a tour of the countryside, we had our first equus. Although if things go that smoothly, things are about to go wrong. Like getting totally lost in a new map and not knowing where you left your PT. Oh, then I thought, I'll just leave the equus here and go up in the air, use the Sinnoh to spot it. That'll be much easier, right? Nope, still couldn't find it. Flew all over the area where I thought it was, but just couldn't see the darn thing, so I decided to go back and pick up the equus before anything happened to it. And of course something happened to it. As I'm gliding down at stem, a pack of raptors spot the equus as well and decide that it's going to make a nice little lunch. It's on the other side of the lake, I couldn't get there in time, so all I could do is watch 5 raptors devour my brand new tame. Then almost immediately find the PT where I left it, just kind of chilling there with a raptor eye in it too, so I had to get down there pretty quick. Now this is ARK and it likes to troll, so right after I just watched my brand new equus get eaten, I come to this green drop and find a lovely equus saddle. Really? That's how you're gonna do me, ARK? Oh, saw your equus died? Here's a blueprint. Really, ARK? Then, hopes being low, if anything good happened, ARK threw us a bone. Well, a horn. Well, a unicorn. Finally got close enough and it only took 1 carrot. Nice. But no, I would never make that BP. Now, this being ARK, you're never safe till you get home, and I made the mistake of not watching my torpor or trying to kill this high-level dillo to get some XP, and knocked out my own unicorn. And then named our new unicorn after our YouTube friend who is very fond of unicorns. And name a equus after a cat? Why not? Got some flint. And here I am on day 14, repairing my non-metal hatchet in the smith again. Day 15 finally arose, time to go exploring. But Buddy was pretty hungry and I couldn't find any trilobites around, so I knew it was time to go out to the desert. Little did I know this drop was actually going to be really helpful really soon. I also stopped and looked at the requirements for the alpha boss. It took nearly the remaining of the day to get anywhere near the desert, but it was getting cold and rainy and I needed to put that campfire to use, so good thing I had it. Finally, we had enough meat cooked and the rain had broke, so it wasn't so cold and we took off to the desert. Found some amazing loot in these drops. oh my gosh, how will I ever live without this blueprint? And then this happened, and unfortunately I didn't have a spare pair of leggings, so that kind of sucked. Luckily it didn't attack again and the Sinnoh scattered away and we got the hell out of there. Spent the majority of day 16 in the desert looking for these lovely little guys for their organic polymer and their chitin. Oh yes, very nice, very nice. Went ahead and killed some of these scorpions for some extra Sinnoh taming later. While out in the desert, came across this decent level Anki, so I decided I needed to put that thing down and make it my friend. Such an odd way to make a new friend, but eventually he went down. And after waking up, it was just a slow walk down to the beach. Used our little buddy as a backpack and sailed away into the shallow depths. Upon returning home, I made my first fabricator because I needed to get a chainsaw. Unfortunately, I was still a few resources short, but it would mean I wouldn't need to get a wood gatherer. Spent the rest of day 60 gathering resources, and it was time to name our PT. Adrian. Hey Google, how do you spell Adrian? Adrian. Is it 2 E's? Is it? No, wait. Yo, Adrian! Wait, come on. Wait, how do you? No, alright, whatever. Adrian. Yeah, okay. Then I named the Anki Bruce. Since I couldn't make the saw, I used the polymer to make a set of ghillie before it spoiled, and I learned the good old brain bucket there. Safety first, kids. Now, day 18 through 20 was spent packing up the base and moving to the swamp, but unfortunately, I didn't hit record. We had some pesky neighbors, and eventually this was actually going to be a very bad idea. Just a few unwelcome neighbors. Don't go for a swim out there, folks. Towards the end of day 21, I set out to find something that ate meat, because I didn't have anything that was carnivorous, and it was kind of hard getting meat, and I wanted to explore the island. While out exploring, I took a little risk going over this slightly deep area, but I kept a vigilant eye on lead sickness because I knew they could be somewhere, and ooh, look at those pearls. Getting pretty close to shore, I was feeling confident we had made it, and then, let me know when you see it. Yeah, right there. It was now raft first lead sickness. How fast can I get to the shore? And we just make it. Just one little love nibble, that's all. Yeah, that's what I thought, buddy. You don't want none of this. Get out of here. Go, get! As we sailed into day 22, we still hadn't found what we were looking for, so we pressed on. Eventually, I came to this area that was nothing but deep water, and I didn't risk it, so went ahead and took to the air. Came across this wonderful loot drop to continue the trend of very useful items. Yep. Wooden sign and slightly better than primitive. Okay, great. Got a good look at what we needed for the alpha fight. Only 4 artifacts, but a lot of tributes. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, thanks so much. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. You know you want to. Go ahead, do it. Do it. I dare you. Now, flying near what would later become the new base of operations, I come across my first spotting of a Maywing. And I knew that I needed a better flyer. With the size of this map, having a Maywing made things so much better, but still had to catch one first. Oh, a lance? Really? A lance? Who has ever used a lance? Anyone? Anyone? Comment below if you've ever used a lance. Followed by a lance blueprint? Yeah, great. At least we got a journeyman Anki saddle out of that. I spotted this beautiful albino 174 Maywing. Tempting, but I have my sights on something bigger that will just shred some meat. And how about this aloe over here? Oh, 180? Yeah, I don't mind if I do. These rocks were kind of being useful, they kind of weren't. I was trying to use the Sinnoh to stay in the sky and hit it from up there, but it was really hard in the fog, and eventually I just stood on the rock. And eventually the crossbow broke, so I just went to punch it in its tail. Well, that wasn't working, and punching in its foot only got it out. But it did get stuck again. Had to kill its mate to stop the mate boost, but into the late night hours of day 22, it just didn't want to go down. Eventually got out, and I just said, I'm out. Then we found not 1, not 2, but 3 hide armor sets back to back. Yep, great loot. We were raising up some Sinnohs, and we're gonna go test them out pretty soon, but right now they're just kind of leech control. But the good thing about leaving it in the swamp is you can always get a good supply of chitin from these guys. Now the remainder of day 23 and 24 were spent expanding the base, mostly gathering wood and such, but turns out I wasn't recording. Happens when you do this early in the morning or late at night. So we expanded the base, and I also tamed a Beelzebufo in hopes that I could get some CP from these local leeches, but then I learned you don't. You only get CP from the Meganura. Great. Out looking for some Meganura, we suddenly got this death message about our dung beetle. What? And then we were jump scared by an arthropleura. Like, I didn't know they could be in the jungle. I didn't know they were in the jungle. Who knew they were in the jungle? But luckily, with the help of this wild Sinnoh, we were able to take it down pretty quick. And as the day was getting later, I returned home, and after making sure I wasn't being followed, I then quickly spotted the dung beetle assassin himself, flying away. Ah, poor dung beetle. You will be missed. And used as resources. Later that night, built a few campfires to start hatching up some Sinnoh eggs because I was going to go to the desert and test these things out. Oh, well, aren't you just the cutest little thing in ARK? Oh. The next morning, I went over to the green ob to make some cryopods. Yep, but forgot the oil. So just put that on the list of things that slow down my progress. And for real this time, luckily I was able to make 6, which is one more than I needed to pack everybody up and move the base. The unnamed Beelzebufo, Bruce, Stella, Terra, and Kitty. Since the Sinnohs could fly, we just went nice and slow. They could keep up with the PT as long as I didn't use any stam, so it was a nice slow flight over. And before settling down, I made a quick trip over to the desert to see how hard these Sinnohs can hit. And they can hit pretty hard. Yeah, not gonna lie. Got a good bit of chitin from them and some organic polymer from these mantis. On my way out of the desert, just happened to spot this nice high-level Dodic, so decided I needed that Dodic. Now, didn't go down easy, but after a long fight into day 27, the Dodic finally woke up and we were friends. Oh, and another lovely example of ARK's wonderful loot system. This one at least had a built mosa saddle in it, but I'm never going to use that. And after spending a good majority of the day getting no good loot out of the desert, I decided it was time to get out of there and go put down some roots. Except it was going to be a very slow flight. After eventually making it over, we were flying by and spotted this rich metal node, and I decided might as well live near this. So found this nice little cliff edge right here and thought, well, if I get a few behemoth gates up, I can have a nice little open base right here and pretty easy to defend. So we set everybody down, popped everybody out, and got to gathering some resources. Yeah, I know it's just thatch, but it's just going to be that way for now. Don't worry. Went ahead and put up a few more base amenities, and then found out we were living next to a drop spot, which was kind of cool, except for the loot. The loot wasn't cool, no. At least Kitty looked pretty cool running back to the base. Oh, and here I am gathering resources because I don't have a Dodic saddle yet, and I'm still using a stone hatchet. I haven't even noticed that it's about to break because it's not metal and it's a piece of crap. So instead, went out and smashed a few rocks with Bruce because Bruce smash. Now, I was having high hopes when I saw this yellow drop, but then out of the corner of my eye, I saw that guy. Logging in on day 29, I was greeted with text telling me there were some unwanted guests nearby. I found these 2 raptors running around and I had no base defense, so I decided to go ahead and tame them up and leave them on neutral until I actually built some base defenses. And unfortunately for this Diplo nearby, it learned the meaning of wrong place, wrong time. But for me, gave me plenty of prime meat, so win for me. And we named the first one Ruby, the other one Julia for that lovely smile. But nothing out of these green drops, as usual. Decent blueprint from that. Oh, a flashlight blueprint, that's something. And the dawn of day 30 as we admire our lovely thatch base. We might need to make some upgrades soon. Let's work on that. Of course, we start our day with an early morning metal run. And after we loaded up as much as we could, we made sure that Bruce got his cardio in and he ran behind us with all the metal he could carry. Oh, and today was the day I finally realized I was using a primitive stone hatchet this whole time, and I finally go ahead and make a metal one. If you made it this far, go ahead and comment down below metal hatchets for the win, because I'm a huge dummy. Oh, want to guess what I got out of this blue drop? Did you guess a forge blueprint? Neither did I, but that's what I got. Great. After going back to the old swamp base and pilfering it for all of its good resources and loading up the sinews with as much stuff as I could, we headed on it. And after spending the remainder of the day just flying back, we did make it back eventually, and now at day 31, hopped on our deck and started collecting the resources we were going to need for a proper defensive wall. Early in that morning, I realized I had yet to name my Sinnoh, and I decided to give him a name despite having bad luck naming things, and then they shortly thereafter died, but he was more than just a furry little backpack and parachute. He was our buddy. But I did breed a few backup buddies just in case. You know, it's ARK. On my way back to scavenge the rest of the swamp base, I did get a working GPS from that yellow drop, so hey, that's not half bad. And if you're wondering how I had a floating platform above the lake, I just sunk all these foundations below and give me support. Loaded up as much as we could onto the PT and said goodbye to the swamp base for the last time. And on the way back, we finally found a red drop with something decent in it. Just, you know, decent leggings, but hey, I'll take it. After whistling up all the spare buddies, we decided to go ahead and on down to the desert and get some chitin and polymer and meat. It just took us forever to get there, and then it was the early morning of day 32. After waiting on this rock for the rain to stop and the sun to come up, it was time to go rid the desert of its horrible bug infestation. They're like little attack drones with little beady wings of death flying out of the sky. Now, supposedly, right next to this tree is supposed to be the only desert red loot drop, and it never spawned here for me. I'm pretty sure I'm in the right spot, but I wasn't having any good luck out with these purple drops in the desert. So, we went back home. Now, on the slow flight back, I saw this yellow drop and was like, hey! But no, we just got a lance out of it, yet again. Oh, will this purple drop have anything useful in it? Well, actually, since I was out of water, a built water jar that was already full was useful, because we still had a long flight out of the desert with these slow-ass things. I know. At least on the way out, we did finally find something useful in this blue drop. Mastercraft crossbow blueprint. Very nice. And after finally making it back on the end of day 32, we were finally able to make our first pump action shotgun. Let's go! Well, it's just a primitive one. But on day 33, we continued our grind for 900 stone, wood, and thatch for some behemoth gates. And with the remaining organic polymer before it spoiled, went ahead and made the first chainsaw and gathered just a crap load of wood, more than any of my dinos could carry, so it was a bit of a hassle getting it all the way back to the base, which took about the rest of the day. Before we left the highlands, we stopped by and got some lovely raw mutton to tame up our wrecks, and it didn't take long to spot a nice high level one. Kited it back to this nice cliff edge here where we had the high ground and just dumped some arrows into it until it started to run. Our new Mastercraft crossbow was getting a workout, but it was doing so much damage we were 2 arrows away from killing this thing by the time we actually ended up knocking it out. But we didn't kill it, so yay! Yeah, we got pretty close there, but we fed it the raw mutton, and sooner rather than later it became our first Rexy friend. And yeah, no, she wasn't the highest level, but I needed to gather some meat, and I need some hide, and well, she ain't that bad. And turns out, neither was this blue drop we just picked up. That's a pretty good Ascendant Ghillie chest piece. Rockticus the Third. No, not Rove. Oh my gosh, I can't spell. Then it was stone after stone after stone. I attempted to gather wood with the chainsaw and the Rex, but the Rex became overweight very quick. We took the Sinnoh army out to the desert to go ahead and gather more chitin and maybe some polymer more out there, because I didn't know that I was just upriver from the beaver spawns and right next to an obsidian node. Yeah, that would have been a little bit easier. Things are going fine, our Sinnoh army was doing great, and as expected, we picked up these lovely blueprints from the purple drops out in the desert. Just great. Then things took a slight turn for the worst when these mantis turned out to be a little bit stronger than I thought, and apparently I had it healed up the Sinnohs, and well, we lost all but one. Just one sole survivor made it out. And with the long, slow flight back, I wondered why I hadn't brought a single cryopod with me, but, well, we eventually made it back after half a day in some rain. We had a lot to think about. The Sinnoh army's death was not in vain, as we were able to make our first fridge and generator for the base. Oh, and then it was time to do something really drastic, like, try and go steal a wyvern egg. Don't fuck it up. It's not hardcore or anything, so we entered the wyvern trench, and I didn't know what to expect, except possible death. And what we actually found was a bunch of empty nesting grounds. Interesting. Nothing here, nothing here. Where are all the wyverns? Am I in the right spot? Oh, there you are, Peter. I was successful in getting its attention and kiting it out of the trench, and eventually getting it aggroed on something else so it didn't eat me and my PT for lunch. We had to clear out a few more wyverns from the area, but eventually we got back in there and found that there were still not a lot of wyvern eggs in there. Great. Just this 114 poison wyvern blocking me and the one nest spawn in the area. Perfect. Alright, let's just get rid of this 114 poison wyvern real quick, and maybe we can get something decent. Yeah, he's not really letting up. Okay, looks like he let up. One more. We finally got the last wyvern's attention, kited it out of the trench. He kind of followed for a minute too, but by the time we got back we found that we had ourselves a level 60. Oh, come on, really? All of that for a level 60? Alright, I'm gonna take it, but I'm not happy. Alright, who did we piss off? Is anyone following us? I think we're good. Yeah, nope, not good. Nope. Oh, and he brought a friend. Great, just great. Oh, sorry, got you, Klaus.
I talk with Santa. You're getting fired for Christmas.
But also not. Then we needed some stam, and this happened. No, come on, I want to aggro on the quets, come on. No, not Adrian.
Emotional damage!
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Adrian, but we still need to get the hell out of here. Luckily, Buddy came in super clutch, and we were able to glide out of there faster than the wyvern, because, well, it didn't aggro on us, so we actually got kind of lucky. But all we had to show for it was a dead PT and a level 60 fire wyvern. Guess I'll have to take it. Now, just when I thought I might be in the clear, this poison wyvern had other things in mind. Dude, could you, like, stop following me? I'm gonna have to get, like, a restraining order or something. This is not cool, man. Not cool. My only thought was to land and pop out my pocket Rex and hope that I could not die from the poison breath. Just so happens that by the time we got down on the ground and back on our Rex, the wyvern had aggroed to a different Rex. And, we didn't have to deal with anything. Okay, I guess that's lucky? I don't know, but, we survived to tell the tale. Then there was just the long walk home on the Rex. Once we got close enough, I went ahead and cryoed the Rex and Sinnoh'd all the way back. And of course, once back, the first thing I did was get this wyvern egg nice and warm and cozy, and with the boosted rates, it didn't take long to hatch up. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to get an imprint. Once big enough to fly, we took our new wyvern out and saw what this thing could do. Yeah, it wasn't that impressive, but it was better than the PT. No offense, Adrian. You will be missed. I then proceeded to spend the rest of the day loot hunting, hoping for something actually good, other than a medium crop plot. I did find this nice shotgun that wasn't half bad, and spending most of the day looking for loot, we noticed that we were about halfway over to the crystal and obsidian spot that I just had to keep going back to, so might as well pick some up while we're here. Well, it wasn't a complete waste of time flying all the way over here, because I spotted this alpha raptor and I decided, well, let's give it a try. Could be some good levels. And then I quickly realized that this was a bad idea. Let's go. But for some better reason or not, I stuck around and eventually got this thing pretty bloody, and wouldn't you know it, we got a kill on an alpha raptor. Oh yeah. Yeah, a little risky, but I did end up getting 3 whole levels. I guess that's worth it in the end. I don't know. Yeah, let's just get out of here before I do something stupid and don't actually survive. Okay, when I stopped for Stam, just so happened to spot my first beaver. Damn, I did not mean for that to rhyme. But either way, I had to get this thing, but I was pretty close to death, so this was gonna be pretty tricky. Luckily with the wyvern, you can stand just on its wing and access the beaver dam, grab the stuff, turn around, hop on the wyvern, and fly away just in time if you do it just right. And, well, it kind of worked because we were on the edge of a cliff and we took off. The beavers went off the edge. We were hovering in the air, encumbered, and dropped all the wood and decided to get out of there. Yeah, not a bad day. Now the day had just begun, so we brought back that extra CP, crafted up a long neck, made ourselves a net projectile, used the remaining polymer that hadn't spoiled just yet, and made some nets because we were gonna go hunt down a Maywing. Because, I mean, wyverns are cool and all, but this is a freaking huge map, and we needed to get around pretty quick. At this point, you just basically walk right up to them, net them, and if you got a good enough shrink, you can knock them out before they wake up. So we found a 156 right here, and if you're standing at just the right spot, when it goes unconscious, it will pop up, and you don't over-shrink it, which is always good. Never over-shrink your tames. Yep, no more traps needed, just use the net projectile. Yeah, tell me that doesn't break the game. They're just a little OP, right? Am I right? I'm right, I know. Just like this 180 Maywing, had no idea what was gonna happen. But, you know what? At this point, being single player with no mods, I'm gonna take every advantage I can get. And this advantage right here definitely came in handy, having a nice, fast, max level Maywing. Let's be friends, buddy! Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. That's so creepy. I'm sorry. And after returning to base, I decided to hatch up a few more Sinnoh eggs to replace the last Sinnoh army. Let's not tell them what happened to the first one, okay? We'll just leave that between us. They don't need to know. Oh, they grow up so fast, don't they? And in the wee hours of day 38, we started by another early morning metal run with Bruce. But now it's a little easier getting over there, because we can just pick him up with the wyvern. As long as we don't have all that extra stuff. And yes, the time had finally come to actually build some base defenses in the form of a giant-ass behemoth wall. Because that's what you do. I guess, right? Some people do that. I don't need turrets, so yeah, let's just do the wall. Let's go. And cue resource gathering montage. And by the end of day 39, we finally had a wall. Well, we needed some doors, but we had a wall. And on the morning of day 40, we finished putting in the doors, and we actually left ourselves a little gap here so we could get through with all of our harvesting dinos without having to go through the doors, because these aren't S+ and they don't automatically open. Yeah, it was just easier to have this anyway. Looked pretty cool though, right? We started day 40 by doing our chores and reorganizing the base by making a few more forges so we can get to that indie forge just a little bit faster. Set the new Maywings to Maywing, upgraded the base a bit, and did a little more whip and nanny action. At the end of the day, I finally got around to naming my wyvern Dustine after someone who burnt me in culinary school, but that's a story for another time. Swung by the remnants of the first base and picked up our Lystro so we can get some passive levels on our new dames. And since I was in the area, might as well swing by my favorite spot for some obsidian and crystal. Tried my luck again on this blue drop and nothing good. Learned a few new things on day 41, like, oh, titanosaurs spawn in the air right near here. How about that? And how about it's also a gigaspawn? Yep.
NANI?!
No, God!
Another blue drop and some gilly. Continued on through the night collecting stone to finish the gates so we have a proper base. While we were constructing, apparently the Maywings were done with their little bow chicka bow wow and we had some new tames. On yet another obsidian and crystal run to the far side of the island, the good thing is there is a high-level Rex nearby, and we spotted this 174. Just had to get rid of its low-level mate first, hided these two far enough away, and then went back and started to trank out that high-level female. Now, after tame, she had some pretty decent stats, but this was already day 42. We were almost halfway through. We were way behind. This was not good. This was going to be very problematic later, let me tell you. After running out of trank darts and having to switch to my crossbow and damn near killing this one too, she finally goes down. And, since we're in the area and we had some time to kill, she wakes up in the early hours of the morning, we pot her up and take her back to base. Spent the remaining of the day looking for a nice high-level RG and find this 174 female, and I'm not going to be picky, I'll take the first high level I can find. Unfortunately, things went a little sideways because it took forever to trank it out, and she had a friend. Yeah, we had to run, quickly get back to Dustine, hopefully get away, and get back to taming up our first RG. Dustine was up to the task, and she took care of this RG pretty quick. Unfortunately, we never spyglassed this RG, and come to find out, it was another 174. Not only that, the first RG we were trying to trank out woke up and was pretty pissed off, so we had to do some stuff. Like waiting until it de-aggroed, net it again, and finish tranking it out. Luckily, RG's torpor drain isn't that fast, so we didn't have to worry about pumping too much in. What are you doing? What? That totally freaked me out, I'm not gonna lie, that was creepy. Unfortunately, disappointed RG was gonna be our friend whether she liked it or not. The net projectile broke and now we were chasing her down on foot, knowing she was close. Yeah, got her. Then it was off to the desert to find nothing useful yet again. We did return with a good bit of polymer to repair our chainsaw and ended up making some AC units to hatch some babies a little bit better. After returning from a metal run with Bruce, we found that we lived in the perfect temperature for the Maywing eggs to incubate, and, well, we had a little bit of a Maywing explosion. Now, having a few around was fine, but they were eating me out of house and home, and I had to do something about it. Not too happy, and please don't report me to PETA. Towards the end of day 43, we headed toward the redwoods with our Captain Fat Dog Trap in hopes to finding a high-level Dinopithecus so we could get some caving going and get those artifacts. Yeah, boy! After scouting for a bit, I found a nice high level, set my trap, and by the time the trap was set, unfortunately the Dinopithecus had pulled a Houdini and could not be found. Of course, it didn't help that I made the wrong triangle stone ceilings, but after we figured that out, we just couldn't find this thing. It just disappeared. Which meant we had to go back, pick up the trap, and hopefully find it again, or at least another high level. Oh, this 174 will do. We just gotta rebuild the trap, isolate it from its family members, punch it in the face, and then feed it some food. What could go wrong? Well, a lot. A lot could go wrong. But thankfully, to this marvelous Captain Fat Dog trap, we were able to dispose of the unwanted family members, and after succumbing to Stockholm Syndrome, we had our first Dinopithecus. Oh yeah! And after realizing I was in OSHA violations, I went ahead and put up some railings to add to the base. A little bit of decor, if you will. Took the dino out for a little run and got trolled by yet another loot drop. How many is that now? Now, this little lady hit pretty hard, which gave me some pretty good confidence going into the boss fight, knowing that these descendants were going to be pretty strong, but unfortunately that was being a bit optimistic. We finally got around to naming our new Maywing Nicholas, because, you know, it was Christmas time. Took Dustine out on a meat and hide run with the chainsaw, and you can get loads with him. Don't be sleeping on the chainsaw. Got trolled yet again by another blue drop, and probably nothing really good out of this yellow drop either. Oh, a ghillie face mask. Yeah, that's really gonna come in handy during the alpha boss fight. Headed back to the desert to gather some silica pearls, because this was before I found the holy mecca of pearl spawns on all of ARK. And yeah, I found it first. Go ahead and check out that video over there in the corner, you know, after this one, of course. And now I know ARK is trolling me because I just learned how to make an AC, and then it gives me a blueprint out of a red drop? Really? And day 44 ends with yet another resource run. Day 45, and we headed back to the redwoods to find a nice high-level male Dinopithecus, but none were near our trap, so we had to pick it up and move it to somewhere else. Unfortunately, that wasted a lot of time. And oh man, did you see that right there? Oh, buddy came in so clutch that Raptor definitely would have ended this journey very quickly. And is that a Trudon? Like, oh my gosh, get that out of here. Burn it with a fire. No. Okay, let's go somewhere else and look for a Dinopithecus. Let's just pick up this trap real quick and let's see if we can't get lucky. Ooh, I spy with my little eye a 156 male. Exactly what we're looking for. Yes, except putting the trap down took too much time, and he disappeared just like the last one. These things are freaking Houdini. I don't know where they go. I really don't. And the remaining of day 45 was spent looking for this mysterious disappearing monkey. I found a nice high-level 174 female, but that wasn't what I was looking for. I needed a male, and I needed to start breeding fast. Where did this freaking monkey go? I finally spotted another high-level male, but it was a little busy getting attacked by a bunch of Trudons, terrapirds, and an alpha carno in the area. No, I'm not going to take my chance on that. Went ahead and pressed my luck on this yellow drop and only picked up an apprentice crossbow, which at this point was pretty useless, seeing as I had a mastercraft blueprint. Thanks, ARK. On the morning of day 46, we picked up our trap and again tried to trap the elusive Dinopithecus, placing down the trap and searching yet again for a nice high-level male. Will he ever find one? Stay tuned to find out. And yeah, we did. High enough level trap, kill its nearby family members, and tame it up with some raw mutton. Hey buddy, you're late for a very important date with your new girlfriend. Let me introduce you to unnamed Dinopithecus. They did things like they do on the Discovery Channel, and wouldn't you know it, we had our first baby Dinopithecus. What is up with their face? Is it just me, or is it like super squished? Well, they kept breeding and I kept getting trolled by these dang old loot drops. Day 47 came and it was back on that grind. Stone, metal, and the never-ending need for fresh, dead meat. Oh, think I had any luck in this drop? Think again. Now, come to find out, passively healing creatures takes a lot of meat. Should have tamed that snow owl a little sooner. Oh hey look, some journeyman ghillie. Great. Oh, is that a metal door? Perfect. Toward the end of the loot run, I finally find something worth of note. The mother of all silica pearl locations on the map. I'm talking, it's like over 9,000.
It's over 9,000!
Day 48 rolled around and we found ourselves yet again on another resource grind. And of course that meant flying to my favorite crystal location on the far side of the map, wasting so much precious time. But at least this time I was smart enough to bring Bruce to maximize my crystal harvesting. Yeah. Now things went a little awry when I tried throwing out my RG and forgot about cryo sickness, and yeah. Fun times! We had to defend ourselves against this pack of hyenodons, and it took the rest of the day into day 49 for the RG to wake up from her long siesta. And upon waking up, we got down to business, harvesting that motherfucking crystal. Let's go! Now, if you made it this far, you're amazing. Go and hit that like if you haven't already. Go ahead and throw a comment down below that says raspberry buttercream just to confuse the fuck out of anyone who skipped forward. I spent the rest of day 49 in the desert for poly and loot, and wouldn't you know it, nothing useful. Now, where are those dang old oil veins? Come on, they gotta be around here somewhere. After these two lovely loot drops, we finally find what we came here, and we put down our oil pump. Okay, that isn't the worst long neck ever. Okay. Ended up with a little bit of polymer on our way out of the desert thanks to our chainsaw, and found ourselves on day 50 returning back to base, just a little bit shy of being able to craft a chem bench. And after a little bit of grinding, we had the magnificent chem bench! Yeah! With the leftover resources, we crafted an indie grill, but we're a little shy of the holy industrial forge. Day 51 was spent crafting gunpowder, more metal, and of course gathering more crystal from the far side of the island. At least this time I was smart enough to take a faster flyer like the Maywing and get there a little quicker. Out loot hunting once again, but this time things go a little awry because I get stuck in a little pocket. Yeah, just so happens I was able to whistle Dustine to follow, get on, and get up to the loot drop just to find out that, yeah, it's only a GPS. While out streaming this 100 days, I come across this max level 180 Griffin, first one I spot, and I obviously had to tame it, but it wasn't actually any faster than the Maywing, so this guy was pretty useless because after tame his stam was pretty much dog. After a quick oil pickup from the desert, we spent the rest of the night flying over to one of the better wreck spawns, or at least the only wreck spawn that I really knew of on the map at the time, on the other side of the island. Now, this time traveling this far paid off as we found this nice high-level male 168 to breed with our female and get our Rex army going. And we damn near killed this one too, but finally we had it knocked out. Made a quick trip over to the Primo Silica Pearl spot to get some silica pearls and get our electronics going. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, at this point I've lost count. Really? Day 53 ends with a polymer run, horrible loot yet again. Oh, again. And might as well stop and get some oil while we're here. Comment down below how many times you think I'll get crap loot before the end of this 100 days. And at the end of day 53, I make a 200 IQ move and start making my way toward an egg incubator. By day 54, I had a bunch of useless Rexes, so I took them down to the valley and decided to dispose of the local wildlife. And after crafting up all the scuba I was going to need, I went down and collected all the silica pearls I was going to need. Well, at least for a little while. We finally had enough resources to craft up that egg incubator, and it would make raising up these babies a little bit easier once I got the temperature controls right. I mean, what, is it higher? Is it lower? Oh, okay, we're good. Hey, stop looking at me, Swan! And luckily at this point we were able to see if we had any mutations, so we just spent the rest of the day into day 54 breeding and then some more breeding. Turns out baby Rexes are really hungry, so I went out on a meat run, and then I decided to do something really dumb, like kite this giga over near my base and see if I can kill it for a heck of a lot of meat. Well, there's only supposed to be one giga spawned in at a time over here, but there just happened to be two today. What?
NANI?!
And good decisions be damned, I still send in my disposable Rexes to try to kill this giga, but, well, nope, they were all on wander, spread out, didn't attack as a group, and things just did not go well for those Rexes. Well, I wanted to help out, so I tried to swoop in and maybe light the giga on fire, but it was attacking and its AoE is massive and just damn near one-shotted me. Maybe that was two, but yeah, we almost lost Dustine and the entire 100 days. Great. We returned back to base to lick our wounds and continue raising much better Rexes. Yeah, let's do that. Day 61. And why am I about to die, you ask? Well, let me tell you. After spending 5 days straight grinding out metal and everything I needed to get the Holy Industrial Forge, I was out and about and spotted this max level ARK just outside my base, so decided to go ahead and tame this guy. Why? No reason at all. I mean, after I got done taming him, I just stuck him in a Pokeball and never saw him again. But we did name him Mr. Ed before we did. And this was the moment I almost lost the whole playthrough because the Sinnoh was going too fast and I crash landed onto the Forge. What? Eat something fast. What? 100 health. Ouch.
What the hell?
Okay, where were we? Oh, right. Yes, back to the metal grind. Takes about half a day to clear out this metal spot, but it is worth it, and I spent the rest of day 61 filling up the Enki and taking it back, then filling up the Forge. For some reason, I still had high hopes I would find something decent out of these loots, but wouldn't you know it, nothing good. Let's at least grab some oil while we're out here. That will be useful. I guess I'm just too damn optimistic. Okay, is anyone counting? Because I've totally lost track. But we did get a lot of poly before we left, so good. And turned it into a vault. Let's go. Found a nice water source near the base to set up a greenhouse. I just had to clear out the local hostels. Yeah. But wasn't too hard. And then we got going on building a greenhouse because we needed we needed crops. We really needed some crops. Let's go. Spent the rest of the day crafting the walls and the ceilings and the spikes to go around it and keep it nice and safe. Alright, enough of that. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled crappy loot. And after all of that, we went and made a cryo fridge, some cryopods, put all the monkeys away so that they would stop eating all of the food and I could stop going on meat runs. And today was the day I led all the unwanted Maywings off the cliff and let ARK take its course. Just like that. Went out for another pearl run and collected a few things.
It's over 9.
Yeah, okay, we get it. Thanks. Okay, really, this has gotta stop. This is just getting sad at this point. Titan armor, really? Now, I really wanted a mining drill to expedite my metal run, so we went over to this lovely little lake right here, which has a bunch of black pearls down at the bottom. Unfortunately, without a stack mod, these things got pretty heavy, but we just made a couple runs, and eventually we had more than enough black pearls. Now I just needed crystal and polymer. Great! Now, very late to the game, we finally got our egg production on to try and get some better Rexes, and you know what? Let's go out and tame a snow owl because maybe they'll heal up faster and I won't have to go on so many meat runs.
Nope.
Then it was just net, trap, trank, and done, son. But I forgot cryopods, so yeah. Now, I'd love to tell you I found something good out of this loot drop, but made the snow owl saddle and got back to cracking some eggs and finally found my first mutation, and it happened to land on health. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're not the best stats to begin with, but at least it landed on the right one. Even with the snow owl healing them up, they were still really hungry, so, well, back at that meat grind. Out loot hunting again, and wouldn't you know it, if you made it this far, you are an absolute legend. Comment down below blueberry pie, and I promise I will respond to every single comment, and you might even get your name in the next video. Still needing more and more meat. We continued getting meat, we continued cracking eggs, and we continued healing up our Rexes until we reached that fateful day.
Nice.
Started the day off by checking my crops, going out on another big old meat run, because those Rexes are just so damn hungry. I probably wasted so much time going on meat run after meat run, but anyway, I finally decided to go and do something really dumb. Horribly, terribly, stupidly dumb. Yeah, we're gonna go try and steal the magma sword egg. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Now with any sort of luck, there'll be an egg right at the first spawn point. We can get in, grab it, get out. The Rex doesn't have a very good turning radius, it's slow, this isn't gonna go well. You think I had that kind of luck? Have you been watching the video? Barely inside the cave when you already angered the first magma sword we came across. This isn't gonna go well. Duck and weave, here we go. I finally spotted an egg, but that burn damage does some serious DPS over time, so I had to do this right. I wanted to line up the Rex so I could grab the egg and get out of there, but nope, it got more attention, so this isn't gonna go well. Oh, direct hit. This is not looking good. I think I just need to get out of here. Oh boy. I tried foolishly to attack and still get out alive, but then getting ganged up by a second one, I knew I just needed to get out of there before things got really hairy because I was already at half health, the Rex was almost at half health, and these things were really accurate with those bombs. Jesus. With the Magmasaurus hot on our tail, just barely diving and ducking and dodging and diving and dodging the frickin' bombs, we finally get out of line of sight, get far enough away, and just barely make it out alive. Really? You gonna do that right now? After getting safely back to base, I decided maybe we should just go tame a Yudi because that would be good for the boss fight. Well, you know, that's easier said than done. Spent the better part of the day searching the snow for a good high-level Yudi. Finally came across these ruins, and oh, is anybody home? Ross? Anybody home? No? Oh wait, wrong server. Towards the end of the day, I decided it was a good time to go ahead and test out the Dinopithecus to see if it could stand up in caves. What kind of damage could this thing do? And even unimprinted, this thing was knocking things out of the park. I mean, this Alpha Raptor was no problem. These Rexes went down. And I felt a little bit better about going down and getting the artifacts out of the caves. Because, yeah, getting the artifacts for Alpha Boss meant going into one of the hardest caves on the map, and it was behind a labyrinth, and yeah, let's not talk about that right now. still on the hunt for a good UD, and we're still on the hunt for a good loot drop, and yet we cannot find one. Great. I did find the ice wyvern trench and a bunch of wild creatures to kill and take back the raw meat. And what? Look at the direwolves. They're out of the. Oh, it's so cute. You're trying to get to me. Oh. Well, hey, you can. Okay, you can still attack through the ice. So can I. Goodbye. And turns out, even though there were some wyverns in the trench, this level 66 didn't have an egg, and neither did this 228. So eventually I just had to leave and cut my losses. I wasn't going to be returning with the wyvern egg, but maybe I could return with a decent level mana? Let's see if we can go ahead and tame this one up. Unfortunately, we first have to kill all the stupid mammoths keep aggroing on, and then maybe we can tame it. Let's see how this goes. Want to think that it goes smoothly? Guess again. I finally get it trapped in some trees, net it, and try to put a trap down around it. Unfortunately, the trap wasn't actually positioned correctly, and when this thing got up, it got up and was pretty pissed. I was able to get some headshots on it through the metal gate door, but then it got out because, you know, the trap didn't work. Where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, there you are, Peter! And once again, the mana aggroed onto the closest nearby wild creature, but this time I wasn't quick enough and I wasn't able to save it. Bye bye, mana. Maybe next time. The day wasn't over yet, and I finally spotted a 168 beauty, so I decided to go ahead and try to tame it. Got rid of the carnos nearby, went back, put down a trap, and the exact same thing happened with the beauty that happened with the mana. It got out of the trap. Great. Now, it followed me off the cliff, which wasn't great because all the carnos went down there, and then it fear roared me. Saw that it kind of got stuck, and I was like, hey, maybe this'll work, but no, it didn't, because then I got fear roared again, and, well, yeah, this was just not working out. Having no more nets and barely enough darts to knock it out, I decided to go ahead and return back to base, but this scam on this damn Griffin. Got back to base, put the food in the feeding trough, made some more narcotics so that I can make some more darts and maybe hopefully tame up a Yuri in the future. I totally don't. I never tamed up a Yuri. Nope. Day 71 was uneventful and day 72 was starting off the same way. So we left the desert, got back to base, checked on the crops for some crop maintenance. No, not that kind of crop maintenance. You know, the ARK kind. Come on. And day 72 had come, and I had a different strategy this time. We're gonna take the Dinopithecus. Oh yeah, this thing was hitting pretty hard, and I felt pretty safe in there, although I didn't bring a helmet. Great. This was either gonna be a really good idea or a really bad one. No use turning back at this point. Better just risk it for the biscuit. Alright, let's go. Right after we put Dustine in a safe spot for a quick getaway. Oh, look, someone followed us out. It's just a level 24. Let's see what we can do. And even in death, he set us on fire. Not being deterred, we went in anyway. We gotta get one of these eggs. Oh, look, someone's waiting for us. Great. Oh, and here's the moment where the stupid climbing mechanic almost got me killed. Why are you climbing? Stop climbing. Stop climbing. Now you're climbing in the air. How are you climbing in the air? What is going on? My only option here was to hop off, glide away with the Sinnoh, whistle follow, because that would have been sudden death. Yep. Come on, buddy. We gotta go. Let's go. After not spotting an egg in the first area, I had to venture in a little bit deeper, but luckily there was one just right here. So I picked up the first egg I could find, jumped back on the dino, and got out of there because I knew I just rang the alarm bell. Fortunately, I totally missed the exit right there. Best thing to do now is keep moving until I could actually find one of the exits and not get blown up by one of the... Oh no, that was close. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go. On fire and being chased, I finally spot the exit. Get out of there, find Dustine, and we were on our way out. Ooh, that was a bit hotter than I thought it was gonna be. Returning home, I checked the nearby Giga spawn to find a low level that I needed to kill for its heart for the alpha boss fight, but more on that later. Right now, we got a new baby Magmasaur, and he even came out with the blue coloration. Oh, that's so cool! And as soon as this guy could, we slapped a saddle on and went on a metal run to see what kind of stuff he could do, and yeah, I'd say he's a little bit better than Bruce. Sorry Bruce. Yeah, no lie. Way better. Yeah, that's not bad at all. But this loot drop kinda was. And so was this one. The remainder of day 73 was basically wasted looking for these oil veins. I mean, I did find another one, and I needed a lot of oil to make the industrial cooker because making med brews in the industrial cooker is way faster than the cooking pot. But I just wasted so much time looking out here. I should have just gone with the two and just, yeah, waste of time. But hey, look, we found another one. We finally named our Magmasaur Thorge, went on a metal run, got rid of some unwanted Rex babies, and leveled up our Dinopithecus. And it wouldn't be another day if it wasn't for another big old meat run to feed those starving Rexes. Now the next few days were recorded in one long 5-hour session, so let's go ahead and speed things up and see what really happened. Head over to the Wyvern Trench, got trolled by this loot. Made it to the Wyvern Trench, but couldn't find any eggs. Day 76, still no Wyvern Trench, still no egg. Ooh, got into a fight with this guy, and one poison wyvern was blocking the cave, so I went out, searched for loot drops, and got trolled again. Got chased by this guy and stopped to force feed some meat into my wyvern to heal it up and give them stand back. Finally found an egg, but it only happened to be a level 18 fire wyvern. All the other nests were empty, so eventually we finally left. Trying to fight this alpha carno, got glitched underneath and almost died because I couldn't fly away. Returned to base, went on another run, cracked some more eggs to get some level on my wyvern. Got some stone, got some wood, gathered more eggs for the baby blender, built this trap to try and get the Giga in and kill it from a distance, which worked amazingly bad. Got its attention, kited it over to the trap, but with its momentum it went right over. Flung some poo at it, but with a single Dinopithecus I wasn't able to actually take it down. I ran away to try to get the aggro off of me, but then it aggroed on something else, ate it, and then gained all of its health back. So let's try this again. Okay, that didn't work. Let's go. Finally far enough away to cry the Dinopithecus, we went back to the base and tried something else, like taming up this Quetzal. Let's go. I don't know which one was easier, trying to kill the Giga or tame this Quetzal, because the Quetzal kept getting out of the net and I couldn't chase it down fast enough to knock it out. After 3 nets and almost all the darts I had, I finally was able to knock it out and tame up my first Quet. Returned to the desert to find I finally had all the oil I was going to need to make the industrial cooker and some left over. Got back to base, made the platform saddle for the Quetzal, made a platform on the Quetzal so I could auto harvest with the Dodic and the Anki, and found out that it wasn't any better than using the Magmasaur, so waste of time. Used the Snow Owl to heal up our main Dinopithecus so we can finally go down into some caves and get some artifacts. We have no alpha tributes either. It's almost day 80. We are way behind. Let's go. At least taking these guys out in the pack made meat runs a little bit easier. So there's that. Filled the food troughs, went and checked on our crops, and that was the end of day 79. Day 80 began with me learning that I was living right next to the beaver dam location so I can get some easy CP. Now be a good ARK player and first despawn all the wood and then collect everything. I decided to go one last time over to the far end of the map with Bruce on our Quetzal platform to get all the crystal I could probably get, but things did not go well. After the Anki was over encumbered, it got off of the platform, and I had to get back on the platform and then finally find home. Made a second fabricator to reorganize the materials needed to make the industrial cooker, and after spending the rest of the day in the desert getting the last of the resources that we needed to build it, we were finally able to craft the industrial cooker. And now with only 18 days left, it was finally time to level up our Dinopithecus, look for some better Rexes, breed some Dinopithecus, look for some better Rexes, breed some Dinopithecus, look for better Rexes, and those that didn't make the cut, well, they got sacrificed to the baby blender. Don't worry, it was all for a good cause. Then we continued on with picking up eggs, no mutations, and healing the pack. Picking up eggs, no mutations, and baby blender. Breeding Dinopithecus, picking up eggs, no mutations, and baby blender. Read some Dinopithecus, healed the pack, did some eggs, no mutation, and baby blender. What day is it? Oh right, 83. Everything's a fog at this point. Leave a comment down below if you figured out the common name theme of my boss army. Now, I tamed a basilo and it was time to go down and find the underwater loot cave, but first I had to get rid of this alpha megalodon and his chump buddies. Yeah, you know, I'll take the free levels, thanks man. Now, underwater loots are supposed to have good stuff, but
What are those?
got some biotoxin wells down here, might as well. And after getting lost, I finally found it. The entrance to the secret loot cave. I just had to clear out all these jellyfish, but that's why I tamed the basilisk in the first place. And even in the underwater caves, we can't get any good loot. What? So I left the cave to see if anything good would respawn, but wouldn't you know it?
Nope. 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 Nope.
We end the day with another cave dive down, but this time not for an artifact, but mostly for meat, because there's a lot of critters down there, and that's gonna feed our boss army. Yeah, let's go.
Nope. Nope.
It was now time to press our luck in the desert labyrinth. No artifacts down here, but there damn well better be a good blueprint of so help me.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Wait, pause the tape. There it is. Oh, it's a BB. I'm gonna cry. And yes, that was the only good blueprint I got the entire playthrough. And after taking this little nap, we find our way out, get back to base, and start crafting these up for our Dinopithecus, because they can actually wear this. This is perfect. Oh, we might stand a fighting chance. All right, let's go, Thorns. Let's get that metal. Because it kind of cost a lot of metal to make those, but yeah, we can get it. All right, we only need 1 gigaheart. Let's see if we can get the trap to work this time.
Nope.
Don't worry, they were the disposable Dinopithecus. Having only 1 artifact that I actually needed for the boss fight, I had to go down here and get it. So that's what we were doing. Well, except I popped out Dean on the wrong side and I couldn't get him in. And now I had cryo sickness, so that means I was going in on foot. All right, let's go. Nothing so far. Ooh, what's in the box?
Nope.
And luckily I had my bug repellent on for those creepy crawlies right there. And then I proceeded to get totally lost in this maze of a cave. Wait, wasn't I just right here? Ooh, hey, this is new. Let's pop out the Rex to clear out these bugs and see if we can get anything good. Where is this artifact? Okay, these are some serious spiders. Good thing I wasn't playing around and I had the Rex, because yeah, that's just scary. Well, turns out this wasn't the right cave and, well, just some more time wasted. Let's get out of here. And after returning to base, it was on that night we discovered we were living right next to an obsidian node. Great. Turns out Bruce isn't very good at harvesting obsidian. Perfect. It was back to the baby blender, and for some reason I wanted to try just one more time to tame a Yudi because I knew I was really gonna need it, but things just weren't going my way this time either. Ay vey. I hopped off the Griffin because I got Fjördur so I could stay near the Yudi and try to drink it out, but I didn't get it down in time, so things were not going well. I finally get it re-netted in the cave again. Things look cool. There's just this woolly rhino right here. Man, shouldn't be a problem, right? Okay, cool. Land and instantly attacked by a saber tooth. What? Try the trap one more time, and well, turns out it was actually torpor running, so I might have actually stood a chance until this random Carno showed up and a Megalo? What? It's the middle of the day! Then the Yudi gets into a fight with the Megalo. I try to lure the Megalo away. Oh, holy crap, you're kind of fast. And then the Yudi follows. This is so scuffed. And that's where I should have netted the Megalo and gone after the Yudi. Well, I didn't, and things go sideways very fast. Oh, barely escaping with our lives. We get out of there and just so happen to find the Griffin. Oh, hey, come follow me, buddy. Who just so happens to be on neutral and just so happens to go after the Yuri I just netted. And what are you doing? Bad, Griffin. Bad. I finished off the day by going to the right cave for the right artifact just after we cleared out a few little bugs. Ooh, what do we have here? Ah, great. Anything in this box?
Nope.
Well, after spending enough time to figure out the maze of this cave, we finally found the artifact.
Yeah, boy.
We needed to fight our way out, but we were halfway to fighting the Alpha Dinopithecus, and we only had 12 days left, so let's kick this thing into high gear. Nearing the end of the playthrough, I found myself down in the cave again, finding a quick source of meat run and hopefully an added bonus of some good loot. Well, not this time. And after a lovely cave run, we had enough meat to feed our growing dino army, and all of the unwanted babies, even ones with unwanted mutations, gave up their lives for that much needed XP. Healed the Dinopithecus, and then it was time to test out our best stats of the Dinopithecus with our best helmet on, and I still needed that gigaheart, so let's go. Come on, you can do it, Zach. Now, the helmet was doing some pretty good damage reduction, about 20%, well, until the helmet broke, and, well, Zach didn't make it. But the Giga was starting to get bloody, so we just had to keep chipping away. And now we call upon the mighty Sting to vanquish the Giga foe. Okay, well, time to take things into our own hands. It's just, yeah, we got a good spot here, and we're just gonna keep shotgunning this thing in the face. After using up almost all the shotgun shells, it was time to test out one of these boss stat level Rexes and see what it could do. Apparently, not that much. Yeah, I only ever had primitive saddles on the Rexes, so they were kinda screwed. Sorry, buddy. Now our unnamed Rex wasn't up to the task, but our powerhouse Dean Martin was more than ready. Oh yeah, let's give me that sweet, sweet Giga heart. And obviously with this green fur mutation, we had to name it. I mean, come on. What else are we gonna name this thing?
This needs to stop. Now.
Then it was just down to the depths for all the alpha tributes we were gonna need.
I feel bad, like you can hide a big old dick.
Oh, whoa, I mean, you can't hide that thing, and we needed its blubber. And we also needed a Tuso, but, we searched high and low for over a day, and we just didn't find a single one. Seriously, what the hell am I gonna do with that? Still no Tusos. And eventually I just had to go back and pick up Buddy and return to base.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
And yes, we had amassed a good bit of BP collection, but nothing really useful. Now, after fighting off some Trudons, I almost left, but came back just in case this red drop had anything good, and wouldn't you know. We were now in the Cave of the Hunter, trying to find the artifact and some better loot. And finally finding the crouch point behind which the artifact is hidden. Had to cryo up Dean, make sure that I didn't have cryo sickness, and I get through and find this little guy right here guarding the artifact. Luckily, there was space for Dean to pop out, and we cleared out the unwanted guest and got our artifact as the prize. Finished the day by checking the artifact cave near the base, but unfortunately, nothing good.
This is not okay. This needs to stop.
Out back to the desert labyrinth again in hopes of something good. Does he find anything this time? Once he can land the Maywing, Maywing, would you get in there? Seriously? With nothing but some crappy loot to show for the day, we were probably just gonna have to go into this boss fight with what we have. And that means things weren't looking too good for you, boy. Out looking for alpha tributes, artifacts, and some better loot. Comes to find out, I'm not even in the right cave. This cave does not have the artifact I am looking for. Ah, perfect. Just perfect. Now I don't have any pants, and I'm in the cave, and it's the wrong one. Great. Look at these levels. This is a serious cave. And now I have no shirt, no shoes, no pants, just some bug repellent on, so I take the chance of hopping off the Dinopithecus, not angering these... What? That's like 438? Oh, okay, let's just sneak over really... 468? Okay, we're just gonna go over and get this loot. It's gonna be great. At least I can use the shoes. And then I thoroughly get lost in a cave I don't even need to be in. Where is the exit? I was just here. This is not where I'm gonna be. Oh boy. Oh, hello, Nicholas. With barely any time left, my only option was to take my breeding Rexes, level them up to around 20k health, dump the rest into melee, and hope for the best. And at the end of the day, I had nothing but primitive saddles to put on them, so this is probably not gonna go well. Stay tuned. Yeah, you already know. With the days winding down, we do one last metal run with Fjördur, go down into the depths one last time with Shella to find a Tuso, because it just needed 5 tentacles. That's it, just one Tuso will do. On into the next day, we finally find the elusive underwater beast we were looking for. We quickly had it on the run, and this thing was no match for Shella. Oh yeah. Now, after returning back to base, the only cave left to do was the labyrinth cave under the swamp, and I wasn't looking forward to it. I got distracted by this red drop, though. Didn't really notice the Sinnoh just tried to scare off these Trudons, and, well, they came at me again. And all for a simple shotgun, not even a good pump action. Okay, can I get back on the Maywing, please? Okay, let's get out of here quickly. This is not looking good. Just wait. Now, it just so happens I passed out on this rock and they couldn't get to me and nothing else aggroed on, and whew, okay, that was lucky. Let's get out of here and let's go into a death cave. Yep, okay. Getting down to the wire, we still needed the right artifacts for Alpha, a few more Alpha tributes, and to get through that wicked labyrinth cave. Now, this was also with its struggles because I couldn't find the right wood to break I could hear the dang old thing, it just... Oh, there it is. Now, getting the spinal sails was pretty easy because I was living next to one of their spawn points. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yep, we got enough Rexes. The time had come to name the Rex army and take a look at what we still needed for the Alpha fight. Baby blender. Oh, sorry, let me just clean up this mess. Picked up another UD lung and then went searching for basilisk. Aloes don't fart gas clouds. What is going on? Oh boy. Oh, you're meshing, buddy. Hey. Took out Dean to test out the strength against this Alpha Rex, and we were hitting pretty hard without being mate boosted or pack boosted, so I was pretty confident going into this boss fight. Maybe a little too confident. In the area looking for Therisino, stopped by the old base feeling a little nostalgic. Just a few unwelcome neighbors. I then quickly spotted the dung beetle assassin himself, flying away. Okay, no time for that. One Therisino down. Ooh, look, there's one of those basilisks that I need. Except this was gonna go even more crazy than the invisible one. Let me tell ya. I start by griefing it and setting it on fire, but then this magma sword also joins in the battle. Now it's 2-on-1. Now my strategy is to set them on fire, bite at them as much as I can before I have to run away, and then light them on fire again. After whittling down their health just enough, it was time to let out the secret weapon, Mr. Dean Martin himself. These guys never stood a chance. This basilisk wasn't going down without a fight, and with its last breath it spits one more time but barely grazes me, and we finally get our last basilisk scale. Before the end of the day, we let a Therisino find us, and well, poor bastard. We had tried so hard and got so far, and now the only thing standing in our way was one more cave. No time to pussyfoot around, let's just get this done. And for all those who have made it this far, thank you so much truly for making it this far. Thank you for waiting, and now for the epic ending to this epic tale. With every brew I could possibly take, Buddy on our shoulders, and Dean Martin leading the way, we were headed into what was going to be either really good or the end of this tale. Let's find out. The cave initially looked empty and barren, but then upon closer look, the enemy was spotted. After landing surrounded by Arthur Plur, Dean Martin vanquishes his foes, leaving none to tell the tale. The weary travelers had finally found the labyrinth's entrance, not knowing what lies inside, be it trap or be it foe. It was mostly foe. Enemies now defeated, they pressed on deeper into the labyrinth with caution, as death awaited around every corner. In the dungeon, searching for buttons to open secret passages, this is what he was greeted by. With quick thinking, he rounded the corner, remounted the Dinopithecus, losing only his right chest piece in the battle, living to fight another day. I mean, you know what, honestly at this point I just stopped counting. After fighting off hordes of angry flying mammals, the coast was now clear to discover the hidden button, revealing the artifact. Nope, wrong button. Oop, sorry, let's try that again. Revealing the artifact. Crap, not this again, come on. No, that was the right one. It's open. To discover the hidden button, revealing the artifact. Revealing the artifact. After multiple missed tries, the right button was found. The gate opened. Foes quickly vanquished, and artifact acquired. And just like that, all the artifacts, all the tribute items are collected, and there's only one thing left to do. Go take down this alpha monkey. And just like that, the chump Dinopithecus king jumped away at the end, couldn't even finish me off himself, just left me to his minions after completely destroying my army. Thanks so much if you made it this far. You are truly amazing. Go check out this video over here to see how things happened on Fjördur. And go ahead and subscribe, because the next video ain't gonna be 100 days. It's gonna be 1,000. Stay tuned.